Hello, hopefully you can hear me. This is going to be an interesting stream. So, um, yeah, Carrie is currently in bed with her laptop, so she'll be in chat. But you don't get to see her on screen. I mean, you can kind of because we have mini Carrie here. That looks wrong, doesn't it? Just move my hand around. There we go. Yeah. So this could go horribly wrong. But let's go through the chat. So Gaz was here first. Then good evening, Bods 2026. So yeah, happy New Year to everyone. It's been an interesting start to the year. So for us, what happened? My parents came down for New Year's Eve, and so they stayed over. And on the first, we built Lego. On the second, we went to the Lego store, met up with a couple of people, including Monarch, who then came back here afterwards. And we did some work in the girls' Lego room, just deciding what to throw away, really. And while we were doing that, Carrie wasn't feeling that great, and since then has just gone massively downhill. So yeah, she is now in bed, just on the other side of the wall over there. So yeah, people confused that it's 2026. It is weird. Steph says, I just watched an official Sesame Street sketch about Stranger Things. I'm very confused. It seems like a weird thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, because Sesame Street's kind of aimed at younger kids. Stranger Things, I think, is a 15. I am just watching Stranger Things. I think I've just finished season 2, so a fair bit behind, but making progress on it. KO is officially stumped on what mock to build after Bricktastic. Well, we're not even close to that yet. So, yeah, it's we've still got to do our mock for Bricktastic. We'll worry about the next one afterwards. So there's Carrie saying it's going to be an interesting stream today. So Gus says, my favourite thing of 2026 so far is Bricktastic putting the countdown to his show on their page. Yeah, that's so worrying how close it is. And Kay saying, a way to bring the energy in. What were you expecting, really? So saying, can we all just have a mutual meltdown about Bricktastic as the stream content today? That's mainly what we're doing. As the guy says that I'm in charge, which it's true. I get to decide everything. It's a slightly stressful thing. So obviously, as I said, Carrie is in bed with her laptop. So for the past 2 streams, we've been using her laptop, because mine broke. So I've transferred a whole bunch of stuff across onto my new laptop, and it's almost ready to go. So I've got OBS, which is why you can see things like over here we have us as a family. There you go. But the app side of it isn't quite working yet. It might do soon. I don't know. It's running over here in the background installing stuff, so I may get it working. So where else are we? So Redmond said hello to me and Gaz and Steph. So people saying hello. Gaz is going to join in on the meltdown, so that's good. So this reminds me of the 1987 storm where they broadcast from the broom cupboard. Yeah, that's okay. So what's Carrie saying? They must have brought the sickness down with the Bod-in-laws. I don't know if it was them. It might be. Who knows? I forgot. Says I forgot to mention the crazy January Lego store queues of 2026. It was crazy. So in previous years, so how Southampton works is that because the shopping centre that it's in tends not to be open on the first, so therefore the Lego store can't be open. So normally we see all these queues at Lego stores for the first, and then we go in on the second, and there might be a small queue, but not much. And so you get in there and you buy your Lego and it's all fine. That didn't happen this time. So if anyone's been to the Southampton store, it's that when they do like a make and take, they will have a small queue outside, and it's between one of those stalls selling mobile phones and one selling, I think, baklava. Um, and so it snakes backwards and forwards a few times, and then once they go beyond that, you're not allowed to join the queue. And so you get given like a little. So they now do counters. So they give you a Lego brick with a number on it, and so that guarantees you the make and take. And at some point, you join the queue later when it's gone down a bit. Obviously, they couldn't do that for getting into the store itself. So they had that queue, and then there was like a little gap to go round the mobile phone stall, and then there's another stretch of queue, and then there's a gap for perfume stall and another stretch of queue. They had two people trying to man this queue, and they were struggling because obviously they're trying to make it so that people realise there are gaps and people don't just join in at the end, whilst also trying to get everyone to move up so that the queue doesn't take up too much space. So when we got there, Ollie was in the queue a fair bit ahead of us, and then Manak was in the queue a little bit ahead of where we joined. It was okay. We chatted to the staff a bit. They were asking what we were after. We were basically, we don't know. We just want the gift with purchase. They would every so often walk down the queue, giving an update on how many Creel houses they had. It was an interesting time. Then we got into the store, and the queue for the tills just snaked around the whole store. So when we got in, there was very few people who weren't in the queue. So I headed straight to the pub wall and started looking what they had. Carrie and the girls went to work out what they wanted to buy. Because we were after the gift with purchase, and we didn't know what the girls would want to buy, we didn't therefore know what we were going to get because it depended on how much theirs totaled. So it was a lot of trying to get them to choose stuff and then work out how much we had to spend on top of it. So let's keep going to chat. Emily is here saying hello, guys. Carrie is waving. So Carrie is in bed sick, joining by chat. So she will chip in. If she suddenly goes silent, it means she's fallen asleep. So Oscar the Grouch was cosplaying a Demogorgon. I'm actually not making this up. Are you sure? It sounds like a fever dream, that does. Like, why would small children need to know about Stranger Things? How would you explain a Demogorgon to a preschooler? Crazy. So Gaz is saying the DeLoreans have gone out of stock on Lego Online and pretty much all other retailers. So yeah, there's been a few very popular things. Like so much stuff went out of stock almost instantly. The staff now know that we're the Brick Bods. So like, can you move down a bit? And then can the Brick Bods move down? It's fun that they know who we are. Slightly worrying. So, we do only tend to say good things about the Southampton store. They revamped the Southampton store. The lights are a bit blinding when you go in now. And the Build a minifigure setup is now one of the awful new ones. But fortunately, they did manage to keep the pab wall. If they'd have switched to the new style pab wall, it wouldn't be good because you just can't get your hands in them. It's ridiculous. If they had done that, then we might be slagging off the Southampton store a bit more. But normally, it's just good things that we say about them. This will tell the future kid the great queue of 2026. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year. Is this the start of something? Is it just the culmination of things? They were giving updates on the Creel house because that was the one that a lot of people were going for, but it wasn't going down as fast as you might think based on it's not like even 50% of the people in the queue were getting it. It was definitely less than that. But we did see a lot of people buying the Lightning McQueen Speed Champions car. Some people after the modular. Yeah, some people were after the Creel House. They had them like as you went into the store. You've got like the window display, which is raised up, in the back of that, sometimes you'll have people sat on there for make and takes. But so that was where they had a whole bunch of them, so people were just kind of grabbing it as they went in, and then most were just joining the queue straight away. Weirdly, one person did come and switch one. Like he'd already picked one up, and then he was in the queue, and when got near the front, for some reason switched it. So this was one that was in like the cardboard box, like the ready to ship boxes. So no idea what was wrong with the one that they'd picked up, but yeah, it was interesting. So some Costco's got them in. Is that the DeLorean? So yeah, I'm sure some places will have it. It's just who knows where. I mean, we weren't sure whether we would get people turning up at Southampton because they'd been to other stores and not been able to get what they wanted. So come down to Southampton knowing that they would still have stock in. So we went to the New Trafford Centre store last month, and despite people saying it wasn't one of the very small pub walls, there wasn't enough on it for us to bother with a cup. I think there was the big pub drought. Was that 2024, where it never got updated, and then everyone was very bored of it, and then we suddenly got a massive update to it in 2025, and then since then, every so often a new part will appear. So how PAB works, or at least how we believe PAB works, based on chatting to random managers and stuff, is that a menu is sent out to the stores. And from that, the stores can choose what parts to order. I think there's some exceptions to that. So like they will get given Halloween PAB and stuff like that. But normally they get to choose what PAB to take. And then, so that list gets updated. I think it's meant to get updated annually. And the store orders from it, and then when they run out of stuff or they start running low, they will order something else off that menu. And so this is why when that menu gets refreshed, you will suddenly see a lot of stores with almost completely new pub walls. And often the pub walls will be quite similar because they go after the best parts first. I know that in some cases the system will say that they can't get stuff because too many other stores have put in orders and they're out of stock. And then slowly over time, different parts will become available in different stores. Eventually they will all be available in all the stores because that's just how it works. But so we are not expecting a huge PAB refresh anytime soon. And I also know that the guy who does the Lego side of it, the guy who takes the orders and processes them and stuff, he has quite a long holiday over Christmas. So there won't be any updates for a little while. I only really got an order because, so we are going to have, for our markets, it's big airfield, there's going to be hot air balloons, and so obviously there's going to be a lot of different heights involved. And I found in the random drawer, so Southampton has a random drawer where they just put stuff, which could be small amounts from other drawers when they're finishing them off, they'll just tip them in, or from displays, or whatever they find, they'll just chuck it in there. And in there I found a number of the 1x2x5 trans clear bricks, so the tall clear bricks that you can stack stuff onto. If I hadn't found those in the drawer, I probably wouldn't have bothered with a box because I didn't see anything else that we particularly needed. But once you've got enough of those, it was worth then filling a box. For some reason Gaz has claimed ownership of the random drawer. I don't know where this came from, but fair enough. But we can call it Gaz's drawer if he wants. I do find the problem with the random drawer is stacking bricks from it can be really difficult because essentially there's loads of dot tiles in there, and then they get stuck in the bottom of the bricks, and so you then have to prise those out to be able to stack the bricks together, which is not fun. Um, so, Emily says the DeLorean's Leicester. So Leicester Costco had both that and the Lightning McQueen in. Yeah. I don't. We keep talking about Costco. There is one nearish to us, but we've never made it there. But that's at some point we might. What's this? I'm saying it's better for everyone this way. She's not pretty today. I don't think she's got dressed today either, so she's still in her pyjamas. And Steph's a couple of hours from a Lego store, so it's not something you can nip to. And the shrinking pebble makes the journey less worth it. Yeah, there are a number of apps and stuff that people update with what's on the pebbles, which can be useful to try and work out whether you want to get there or not. Yeah. So I guess I think I spent at least 45 minutes more than I wanted at the store. Yeah, it was. So as I said, like in previous years, a whole bunch of us have gone, and then we'll normally go for lunch. We did go to Nando's, and then I think Nando's stopped doing some nice vegan food, and so we switched over to Pizza Hut. Now, we assume Pizza Hut is closed. Have all Pizza Huts closed? I don't know. So I don't know where we would actually go. But this time, so Ollie was there ahead of us. I think by the time we got in, Ollie was fed up. It wasn't a nice environment to be hanging around waiting for people, so I think he decided that he would go. And so yeah, it was just a case of we thought about getting some food there. We ended up going to like Marks and Spencer's and popping into a cafe for a drink because the kids needed a drink. They were quite thirsty after all that queuing and everything, and we'd forgotten to take any water with us. So we did that, and then we decided we'd head back and invited Mark back for lunch and just found random stuff from the cupboards to eat. Okay, so Gaz is going to come to Southampton for January next time, so that'll be good. So next year going to be more stressful because it's going to be a Saturday. Going to be interesting to see. And yeah, Carrie has phoned in sick, so we've not had to drop the girls out of school during normal times for a long time because it's just they go with Carrie, so I'm sure we'll work it out. Leah is also sick, so she may not be going to school. Hayley seems fine so far, but yeah, who knows if I'm going to be in the office or not. I guess if Hayley's in school, I will try and be in the office because if she starts to get sick, they may need me to come and look after for a bit. Lots of Pizza Huts have survived the quell, so yeah. It involved going upstairs in the shopping centre to see, so we didn't bother with that. Yeah, guys, you can join us for the random Lego related tidying project at Brickworld Towers. I'm sure we'll find something to do. Why can I not get my code to work? Because why is it doing dodgy stuff? Because it needs Perl installed. Who knows why? I don't think it actually does anything with Perl anymore. It didn't look open, but then it was 9 a.m. and none of the yeah, it was slightly annoying. We went there, so you park in the car park, and then you go up the escalators, and then you get up one floor of the escalators, and then there's a big sign saying the escalators aren't working, so you have to then go in the lift. The sign weirdly says to use either the lift or the stairs, but considering that there isn't any stairs, it's slightly odd. Why is this thing where I'm trying to install it not actually Come on, work, you silly thing. Just want to install something that I'm not going to be using. Okay. PV's here. So Emily was streaming last night. It's exciting. I can't keep up with who streams when. I trust that Carrie will tell me. She often doesn't. But yeah. Carrie's just taken a medicine, so yeah, if we can remember when. So yeah. 5 to 9. There we go. So anyway, you should probably get on with what this stream's meant to be about. So yeah, as Carrie's just telling me. So we're meant to be planning streams. So I have a little piece of paper where she's left me stuff. Yeah. So we've got the planning is today on the 4th. And then we have Bricktastic on the 22nd of February. So do we just fill in all the days between now and then as just mock? Because that may be what's needed. I can show you the mock. Or at least part of the mock. So this is the airship. So it doesn't look that different apart from the fact that there's more tiles on here. There's still some missing, as you can see. And then I have made the front end. It's a bit bashed in at the moment. It's a bit more gappy than I would like. But it's got a decent shaping on it. So the plan is that there will be, so you can see that there's a yellow bar. The plan is that there'll actually be a ring of gold bars going around there. So it's slowly getting there. I have worked out what pieces I need to order to do this back section. So hopefully I don't know whether that will be pab or whether that will be brick elves. But yeah, Carrie, I don't know why there's some missing, whether I didn't order enough or whether they didn't deliver enough. I don't know. But that is the size of the balloon for the airship. So slowly making progress with that. But there's so much we need to do. There we go. Yeah. Open a drink. That was quite loud, wasn't it? Okay, so Carrie wants to have input on this. So, as I say, we need to do the mock. So I think next week we need to really focus on that because we are running out of time to actually order parts. So I think next week has to be a mock stream. Unless Carrie wants to disagree. Pum, pum, pum. Oh. So, yeah, people not setting timers. Oversized pencil. When you sharpen it, you can hardly hold the end of the pencil anymore. Yeah, it does look quite like a pencil. It's good. Super-sized sharpener next. Mock streams are hard, but definitely necessary. I just don't build well when you're near me. Yeah. Well, we still need to do something. So, mock on the 11th. I don't know what we're meant to fit into these. There's some like game streams and city streams. Yeah. Time to order parts, is that even a thing now? Yeah, it's fine. Harry says it's on the door. I'm not sure what's on the door, but the door is closed. So I'm imagining it's on the wrong side of the door for me to see. So that's always fun. Yeah. The chat is moving more than I was expecting. Yeah. Oh, talking about Gaz's Lego haul. Um, I reckon unless it's urgent, just stay focused on mock stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the list of streams is on the door that I have closed because otherwise you would have the echo and it wouldn't be fun for you. So, I was trying to be helpful. Are you planning on taking part of collab build? So we have signed up for the Hey Hey stuff. That should be fairly simple. I know what I'm doing, at least for mine. I don't know if Carrie knows what she's doing for hers. I think her plan is to get me to do hers. So that may require more thought at some point. But yeah, mine is getting there. I don't think we're planning on doing any other collab builds. We just need to get our mock done. Like, I think the soapbox, we will maybe sort that out if we've got time at the end. But I don't know if we will. Phoebe says, I was going to sign up for the Hey Hey collab, but I chickened out. Oh, nice. Roman Vix is here. Hello. Is that an option in? Can you do my Hey Hey too? No, I can't do yours as well. Yeah, we did have I think it was DidCon, where we were just around coming up with different Hey Heys. So obviously you've got like a serial killer one, who would be Slay Hey. It was a fun day of just how many different things can rhyme with hey, and it's a lot. Yeah, we just don't have collab capacity. So this is our first time doing a new mock for Bricktastic, and it's stressful. So Snotty says, I have an idea for Soapbox, but I think I don't have time even for that. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so much fun. It's just, I'm wondering if we can just take anything that's dotted around the room, stick some wheels on it, and go, yep, that's a Soapbox. That's always a good policy. I mean, I kind of did that last year with the shark head. I did have to modify it, so sticking wheels on it wasn't that simple. But yeah. Yeah, so obviously in order to do the Hey Hey competition, we have Hey Hey up there, which if you look closely, you may spot is missing a wattle, which isn't because I dropped him on the floor the other day. It's fine. I found most of him. But yeah, so we don't want to use that one for the collab. So I said we build Lego on the 1st of January, and so this year we gave my parents a Hey Hey each to build. It was quite interesting watching them try and build it. My dad tried to put the legs on upside down. We've had the colours are just completely wrong. Neither of them managed to get the colours wrong. Parts on backwards. My dad did something weird and couldn't work out how to finish off the tail. So what else have we got? So yeah, okay, we are just too busy to do anything other than mocks, really. But you never know, we might be able to do something at some point. You're waiting for the last order to ship. Yeah, well, you're much further on than we are. If we run out of time, I have two very lovely mocks that haven't been to Bricktastic yet. Yeah, we could take Lear's as well. We could. That is true. It wouldn't be as fun. We want to get the new one done. We'll see what we can do. This is finished doing something. I don't think it's going to work. It wants me to restart Windows, and I'm not doing that in the middle of a stream. That'd be crazy. I'll just try and fudge it as best I can. Yeah, so after Bricktastic, would it be? Is Black Country Brick Show next? I guess it would be. Yeah. So yeah, we could do it for them, but as I say, we want to get it done. It's stressing for the next 6 weeks. Your idea of fun. I think whatever we do for the mock, it's going to involve a lot of stress. Like, to be fair, I think the last mock we essentially built in September because it was like, oh, we're going to do it before, and then it's like, wow, we didn't get it done before the summer holidays, and then the summer holidays we didn't do anything in that, and so I think it was pretty much done in a month. Now that one was easier because most of it was already built, and I think similarly for the Owls one, we did that in a month as well. So we have had more time on this. Stupid things. Sorry, just trying to fight a compiler that I've only semi-installed. I don't think I can fix this while on the stream, which is very annoying. Let's try. Oh, Mayo is here. Hello. Sakeo hasn't changed his village mock, so it's free to do Soapbox-tastic. Yeah. Trying to do all of it at the same time, I think, is a bit difficulty. Steph doesn't have any alternatives, so stressing for the next 6 weeks is where they're going to be. So yeah, it's all good fun. So I think my focus for this week is to get that table behind you clear, and for you to build 3 more Mills plates. Yep, that's what's needed. Look, I think, is it 3 more or is it 4 more? There's the late one over there. There's one built that's just under a table there. I don't see a third. But yeah. Cat's Focus is currently staying alive. So we've got to do more Mills plates, which would be fun. I don't know if we have enough parts for that again. But that might be a case of going to the Lego store and doing a pad box. Mainly just for but I think the only green plates they had is the 4x4s. Oh, Carrie's got one of them with her. So yeah, but the 4x4 plates we can use, but it's slow going on doing a Mills plate with those. You know, 8x8s or 16x16s are much better. I know we just went to the pad wall and we got some parts, but as I didn't know how much we needed for Mills plates, I didn't get any. But we will sort it out. I think we also need to sort out, we've got 2 pab jugs up there with Lego to be washed, which I think is mainly filler bricks, because our filler bricks drawer is looking a bit empty, because we've used quite a lot in each of the Mills plates so far. Okay, so she just bought a bunch of 16x16, so maybe we'll have enough. It'll be fine. Why did this not download when I clicked on the download button? Come on. You silly thing. That one, there we go. Don't forget to like the stream. There we go. Washing Lego is my nemesis. I don't want to. You can do it. I mean, if it's just going to be used as filler brick, can you do it in the dishwasher or the washing machine or whatever? Right, so this planning. Where's mod? What do we need a mod for? It's fine. I mean, yeah, Carrie's spamming a bit, but she's sick. We'll let her go. Where's Carrie? Carrie is in bed because she's sick, so she doesn't want to be on stream. Bum. Oh, silly machine. There we go. So planning and then mock. After the mock, I don't know what sets we've got to build really. So we've got Chinese New Year. Does anyone know what date Chinese New Year is? Carrie is too powerful for mods. That is also true. When is Chinese New Year? It's normally end of February, isn't it? I could be making that up. Let's find out. Chinese New Year. 17th of February. Okay. So therefore, should we be doing Chinese New Year on the 15th of February as a post-Valentine's special? I think so. Chinese New Year. There you go. What else have we got to build? So, is anyone getting this year's Lunar New Year? Says yes. It's not Chinese New Year, is it? It's Lunar New Year. Yeah, they're interesting, but yeah, that's awesome. Shall I open the door and have a look what's on it? There. Here we go. So on the door it says, I don't know what I'm trying to read. So we've got one planning stream, 2 city streams, 2 mock streams, 1 tier list, 1 game/quiz, and 6 build/sort. Okay. Now, I'm not seeing anything that talks about sets. Sets in the Lego Studio. Go read the chat. Oh, I don't. Being told to read the chat now. There's actually the only set on the door to build. Riverside Scholars. Okay. So the Lunar New Year sets, you've got the weird fat-faced people or person. You've got the horses. It's basically a Guinness advert, but slightly Chinesey. And the firecracker set, which is I feel it's kind of like these knots, but it is much bigger, and then inside there's a little scene. Okay. So, oh, I hear Carrie moving.
Well, you left me with an echo.
Okay. You kept telling me I needed the door open.
No, I was just winding you up. It was more fun.
Okay.
Hi everybody, goodbye everybody. I might be going to sleep now. Just so I can see what else is on here.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hang on, there's more sets down here. Yeah.
No, is apparently the sets that we have to build. Okay. So I'm thinking 8th of Feb will have to be a mock stream. That gives us. That's when we'll be in proper panic mode. And the week after Bricktastic, let's go for games. Because that takes some pressure off having to do stuff. We'll get back from Bricktastic. I can't remember. I think the week before Bricktastic is the half term. So we'll come back from that. We'll have work and stuff. And so it means that we don't have to worry too much. We can just play some games. As a weird fat-faced person, I'm somewhat offended. Oh, well, if that's how you see yourself, then uh, fair enough, it's up to you. Um, here we go. So, she's closed the door now, so I've not got the list of things. Right. City. City. When do we want to go up to the city? Oh, it's so cold in January. So let's go city on March 15th. So that means that we'll have no stream for Bricktastic. We'll do a game stream, then a build stream, and then a city stream. Seems like a nice progression. I love how Carrie isn't present, but she's still telling Ian what to do. Yeah, I'm not so keen on that bit. But, these things happen. Right. Are we getting any closer to me being able to build my code? Doesn't seem like it. Oh. It still wants me to restart my machine. I'm not doing that. So, okay. So we've got 2 mock streams, 1 planning stream. So that's a build stream, the Chinese New Year. We've got games, city. So we should do another city one in January. I got up and took a picture for you. Okay, how are you sending me the picture? There. Let's just have a look. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not seeing anything. So this picture isn't very helpful. What do you mean stop being a code monkey on stream? It's much more fun that way. I'm waiting on this picture. So build streams. I think that's because I'm on Do Not Disturb. I know I'm on Do Not Disturb. That's why I've opened the app. There we go. Here we go. So 1 planning stream done. 2 city streams. So, so we still need a city stream in. Mock streams. We want 2 of those, and those are done. Tier list. What tier list would we want to do? Games list, games stream. We have 1 of those. That's done. And so build. We have 6 of those, and so far we've got 2. There we go. So when should we do the other city stream? Oh, Gordon's here. Wanted to wish everyone a happy new year. Or a happy new year. Yes, D&D means do not disturb. It's not that I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons off on a 3rd laptop somewhere, no. Okay. So let's do a city stream on the 1st of February. Isn't he trying to get his app to work? I'm not really paying attention. I'm trying to get the app to work, but that's fine. Right. So that's the 2nd city stream. So before that we can do a build stream and then a tier stream. That seems good. So, and then that will mean that we end on a double build stream. There we go. That does mean that we are, and of course we're a stream short because of Bricktastic. What is our city focus this quarter? So yeah, so we need to work that one out. So as I said, I want to raise up the Disney Castle and then try and get some eateries underneath and try and sort out that. So we could focus on, I don't know how many of the food vans we've got to build. But so that could be our focus, kind of the filling in the fairground with other amenities. I don't know how much of that is going to be builds versus mocks and converting builds so that they'll fit into places. But so we can definitely do a look at that. So if before our city stream, so if we do the food vans, and then that means that in the city stream we can place those and then work out what else to do. What someone elbows done? What? Seth says, maybe I missed that. I was distracted by Phil's elbow. Well, okay. I think Carrie gets distracted by my elbows, but that's because she's a bit weird. So yeah, so if we do food vans, then when we go up into the city, we can place them and work out what other space we've got to do in there. So then the other builds, I don't know what we'll do. So they're all in March. Because the build stream in February is Lunar New Year. So as we said, so the city focus is filling out the fairground. There you go. Okay. What else do we need to do in the planning stream? So what else we need to do around there? So one of the things we need to work out is what we're doing with the Christmas display Winter Village. So as I said, we did a huge amount of work on it so that we could take it to the Southampton Brick Festival. And so that means now pretty much everything has places for tiles to go, people to stand on. So that's good. This is what else we got. We've still got the tunnels to do. So obviously, as you know, I bashed a small hole through the chimney breast so that the train can go through the chimney. So what we want is to have some tunnel entrances to make that look a bit better rather than it just disappearing into a wall. So it'd be good to get some stuff sorted for that. Carrie did make a template, but which is the size of the hole essentially. But that's gone. I think it moved around a lot when we were trying to sort out the Winter Village, and I think it got broken up a couple of times. So we need to do that, but that'd be nice. And Santa's workshop. So is that a plan to create a big, large workshop using multiple different sets, or just to try and get the sets rebuilt? Because some of them are like the weird two-walled open things that aren't proper buildings. But okay, so we can do tunnels and Santa's workshop. What else? There's the Brickish Lug meetup. I can't remember what the topic was. Was it Valentine's habitats? vague memory. That's more of a Twitch Tuesday kind of thing, so but that will need to be covered somewhere. I didn't sign up for these lug things. You signed up for them, and I think did they say that this time there is going to be a maximum of 2 per person? Because I can't remember how much we ended up with last time, 20 odd. And so this is to go into the Southampton store display. And it was a bit cramped fitting them all in. I think they did manage it eventually, but it was tricky. And that was because some people bought, one person maybe bought 8. So, yeah, maximum 2 per person should make it a more manageable display. It's quite nice what they're doing at Southampton. So typically you have that they do 4 displays a year in most of the Lego stores, and so this is normally done by a lug. So Southampton is done by Brickish, as are a bunch of other ones. Obviously, I think Bristol is done by Gert Lug. I can't remember who does. I think Northern Brickworks does Sheffield. I can't remember who does. Maybe Northern Brickworks does Liverpool as well. But there's different places around. They're done by different lugs, and typically it'll be one person will put in a display, and for putting in a display, you get some benefits. And so they do 4 of them a year. What we are trying to do more with Southampton is actually mix it up a bit. So you will have some collaborative displays. So for Halloween, we all did habitats. I mean, I didn't. I don't do these things, but Carrie does. And this is where, as I said, they're trying to fit 20 odd into the display case. I think this all started of Valentine's last year. We actually just did Valentine's builds. They weren't specific to habitats, and I think about 4 of them kind of got put in as a display. So they'll do those collaborative ones, and then we'll have actual big displays. So Carrie is signed up for doing like a spring/Easter one. So the idea is that I think there's a Christmas one in at the moment, and then that will swap out for the Valentine's habitats for about a month, and then Carrie's will go in after that. So it means that they get more displays, and displays change more frequently. But it's not that they're having to give out so when you do displays, you get some benefits, which is essentially a discount off some sets. So they're not going to be giving more discounts away, because on the collaborative ones they don't give us the discounts. So it kind of works well. I don't know whether other stores would want to go down that route. It does require you to have a group of people who can come up with collaborative stuff quite frequently. Did you say someone's doing stuff in Liverpool? So last I saw, it was what's her name? Floss, the one who does the flowers. I know that she's displayed in Liverpool, and she is with Northern Brickworks. So I don't know if it was through that. I did hear someone saying that less stores are having a showcase in them, which is a bit of a shame. I think it's really nice. It connects the lugs back to the stores, which is often something that's missing, particularly with not having AFOL days anymore. And it also gives people in the stores a way to see some more creative things. It's not just sets, you're actually being able to see what people are doing with sets. So I think they're a nice addition. So if stores are getting rid of them, it's a shame. But yeah, as I said, mainly lugs. So like I think, which one is it? There's another one down here that a couple of people from our lug sort out. I don't know if it's officially a Brickish one or not. Yeah. redesigned stores seem to lack a lug showcase, I think. And it's just one of the standard display things, and they just happen to use it for a showcase. So I know that we've talked before about doing bigger collaborative builds for the Southampton one. So we did a collaborative zoo build, which was quite interesting. So everyone picked an animal, or in some cases multiple animals, and built a enclosure for them, based on the idea that, you know, it should be roughly a 16 by 16 per animal, but if you're going for a big animal, then you go bigger than that. So that was really fun. Everyone turning up with those and then positioning them and making a little display on the table in the pub. And so there was talk about whether we could do something like that at the store, which would be more difficult because it would take up, you know, one of those spots in the middle of the store where they put the big sets. So I don't know if that would ever happen, but I think it's nice to do. As I said, I don't know how many are handled by lugs and how many still exist, but if you are in a lug, it is worth finding out how it happens. British must do more than just a couple down here, so the relocated store in central Manchester doesn't have a window. They definitely had some B-mocks in there. Now I don't know if that is done as part of this showcase system or not, but it was definitely, they had a space for stuff that weren't official sets. But that could just be a permanent Manchester display. I don't know. Right. What else do I need to plan? Does anyone remember what I meant to plan? Carrie has not spoken in a little while, but I did just hear a cough, so she's either coughing in her sleep or she's still awake. Oh, but the store I'm thinking of is the Old Trafford store, not the actual central Manchester one. Oh, Carrie is alive. There we go. Oh. You never know, I may actually have the chatbot working. This is crazy. If I can remember what I need to do. Why won't you work? Just behave. Right. So this is exciting. That might work soon. I suppose you could think post-Bricktastic, there's a whole month of the quarter after it. Yeah, so I think that's where a lot of our building will go. I think we're meant to talk about how much awesome stuff we got done the previous quarter. Cool. What stuff did we get done last quarter? Then we do a podcast about this. I should remember what we said. No, we did really well on the Winter Village. Getting that show ready was a huge amount of work in the space of like 2 weeks. So we can do it when we need to. You just need that deadline looming, really. What else did we do last quarter? I'm sure we built some stuff. I'm sure most of it is around here somewhere. So we've had quite a long talk about the girls' city. And so one of the things that I'm looking at doing is, at the moment, it's got a double bed in there. And the plan is to switch that out for like fold out beds. Carrie should have a thing pop up on her phone now and she needs to click on 7. Let's hope that works. Come on, go through. Come on, Gary. Press 7. Press 7. There we go. She pressed 7. Okay. This will be exciting if it actually works. Ba-ba-dum. Okay, and now you need to do 36. This is because the new laptop, and it's all Carrie's Google accounts for connecting to the stream. And so because it's a new laptop, it's not authenticated before, and so it'll keep sending requests out. Normally I don't need to do this, and I can just do it myself, but let's hope that we get this one done. So yeah, so the idea is get rid of the big double bed, instead replace it with these like pull-out beds. I did at one point think of a futon, but they don't need a big sofa in there or anything like that. So we will just have like the concertina kind of beds, so that they should pull out, and that means that when they're away, we can have the city in the middle of the room, and then they can walk around it. There we go. It has apparently activated. Very exciting. I don't know if that means it'll do anything. Bum, bum, bum. I'm slightly surprised. I can't connect to OBS. Annoying. I've not set up the stuff to connect to OBS, that's why. But yeah, so we've got to clear out the stuff that's hidden under the bed, which is a whole bunch of stuff. Bum, bum, bum. If I could remember where I stored the password in this thing, then it'll all be sorted. So yeah, it's the guest room. We don't have many guests because I don't like people. So that kind of makes it a bit easier. Ooh. I actually stored it in the config file. That's crazy. Here we go. So, in here. It's because it's trying to connect on the wrong port. Why did this not get sorted when I told it to export everything? OBS is really annoying at times. We do that. We do that. We can do that. Here we go. We solved that by not having a guest room. It greatly reduces the number of guests. Yeah, so I've used it. So for the Southampton Brick Festival, the trains were all a complete mess, and so Mark was struggling how to get down, and so essentially we went, well, if you can come down, like, so we were talking about it the day before, it's like, if you can come down today, then you can go in the guest room for the night and then head there. So it was useful then. And then when my parents come down, sometimes they'll stay over. Ooh, it's asking for more code. So Carrie, this time it's 30. So 30. Let's get that going. But we don't have a huge number of guests. 30. Go on, you can do it. There we go. But we do need to go on what's under the beds, because obviously if we get rid of the bed, then that would all just be sat on the floor. And the final code is 98. That's 908. We played bingo, was it the crackers? And Yeah, there wasn't a number 30 in it. I think there were two 31s instead. So Carrie's mum was waiting for 30. It's like, yeah, that's never going to happen. So it's always good when you get these things. Oh, we had the most ridiculous. We did an escape room with my parents, like one of the board game versions. And we'd done one before. It was this like Egypt themed one, and you're trying to get into like a tomb or something. I can't remember. And so so this time they brought down, and it was a double one, and in it they had the Egyptian one that we had done. So they'd done that with like my aunt. Okay, it's connected. It says. How's it connected? Oh, I still can't connect to OBS. Oh, rubbish. I don't know why it's struggling with that. But so they'd struggled on one of the things. I was like, well, you've already done this. So I showed them how to do it. But so anyway, we moved on to this one, and it was like a market in Marrakesh trying to do something. And it was that you had a couple of puzzles that you had to solve, and then you had a bag that had a padlock on it with a combination lock. So you had to get the combination to that, and then there's more puzzles. So we managed to get this padlock opened, and we were onto those set of puzzles. And the first one was basically, it was a coded message, so it was all different symbols. And we went, well, we need to work out how to decode it. So you're trying to find different things. And so we spent ages like searching for how we could possibly do this. We couldn't find any of the symbols on anything. And so how these things work is you normally get a book and it'll have clues in it. So if you need a clue, you go off and read it. So my mum was then reading the clue, and she's like, oh, the clue was like, have you found the decoder on the inside of the box? So we get the box and we're trying to look for it, and you can't find it anywhere. Like trying different things, trying to look at whether like the cardboard looked different anywhere. So like one of the clues, you had to heat up a panel on this card, and then it gave you the clue. So, and you could tell that because it was a slightly different coating, obviously for a temperature changing bit. So we're doing stuff like that. We couldn't find it, so we're searching around and just getting nowhere with it. I think Carrie ended up then just trying to Google it, and eventually got onto the like review page for the game, particularly for this, where they'd put both things into one box, and a whole bunch of reviews going, decoder isn't included, and the games company responding saying, oh, it's a printing error, sorry about that, email us at this address and we'll send you the decoder. So this is what we're doing New Year's Eve, and it's like, well, that's useless, isn't it? Surely if you've made an error in the printing, like you've forgotten to print stuff on the inside of your box, make it available somewhere so that if you've gone to the trouble of trying to find this, just have a link to it. Don't have you need to email them, because they're not going to be responding. So that was really frustrating. I did end up, it was the final part, there were 3 puzzles that you had to answer. Sorry, just dropping stuff on the floor. And so there was the one where you had to read the message, and that was basically what was it? A riddle that you had to solve. You know, in security terms, I'm not convinced that broadcasting authentication codes is how you're supposed to do it. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's this weird Google thing where I try and log in, it will then pop up on her phone saying, is this you? And then you click yes, and then it says, well, which code is it? So she has to type in the code, and then that will authenticate it behind. So it's fine. But so yeah, there was the riddle you had to solve, and then there was this like little it was a piece of card, and then it had 4 wheels on, and you had to position those in the right place, attach them with pins, and then rotate them around to discover a word. And then this other one was decoding a date from some columns. But the word we had to decode, so you got the word, you then had to work out the symbols for it. So in this book, there's like 4 different symbol patterns, and you had to try and work out which one was correct. So without the decoder, we just had to guess at that. But then using that word, I then spent about a half hour sitting there trying to decode the rest of the message, by just, working out logically things where some letters could be and where some couldn't. And I managed to decode it in the end, but it was like, yeah, with a decoder, it would have been much, much easier. Dropped on the floor, so yeah. So as I say, I may have dropped Hey Hey the other day, and somewhere on the floor is Hey Hey's wattle, but I don't know where. There's so much Lego everywhere. It's fine. Yes, and you totally missed. I didn't miss New Year's. I finished it just before New Year's. It was fine. Did you miss the bit where I told you that I dropped Hey Hey? Yeah. These things happen. Da, da, da. Why isn't this working? Oh, because I have to enable it. Try doing that. Okay. Ooh. He picked it up immediately. That means Carrie's 100% responsible for the poor flock. She is 100% responsible. Maybe the girls are a bit. Oh.
Hello.
Carrie suddenly turned up.
So, when did you tell me you dropped Hey Hey?
Early on in the stream I mentioned it.
I wasn't not paying attention.
You were not paying attention.
I'm turning my laptop and I'm going to bed.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know for sure I'm not paying attention. Can you make me a drink before you...
I can get you a drink.
Like, not
I
when
might
you
need
go
you
to
to
bed.
send some more codes.
I'm going to be asleep.
Okay.
So how about no?
Just.
This is not conducive to my recovery.
It's the last set, and then I'll give up.
Well, you should not do this on the stream. This is not what people are tuned in for.
This is exactly
They want
what they've tuned
entertainment,
in
not
for.
watching you.
This is entertaining.
This is
Look,
not
I can
entertaining.
do it with you on my hand if that makes it feel better. See?
I'm not feeling very well. I'm very sick. So you dropped my... why did you drop my Hey Hey?
I was looking at Hey Hey.
Why?
Try and work out whether it was.
And then
like
you just
my
dropped the
dad's.
whole thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know he's not stable.
I know.
You think you would have learned?
Yeah.
And so now his wattle is somewhere on the floor.
Yes.
In amongst all this loveliness. The score on the floor is not my fault. It's just totally your
Okay.
fault. Okay. Bye everybody.
Bye bye.
I don't think I have the energy to walk back to the bed.
No.
I might just go to sleep here.
Do you want to go get your phone then?
Good night.
First code is 57.
Okay. I want a drink.
You will
when
get a
this
drink.
Stream ends.
Yeah.
Don't make them sit all night watching you just do nothing.
It's okay.
Bye.
Bye. I'll give this up one more try and then I will give up. Normally by now it would have worked out that I should have access to this and not have to keep sending codes. It's very annoying. Here we go. And the next code is, come on, pop up. The next code is 44. So that's all the fours, 44. I heard Carrie say something, but I'm not sure what. This will be the slowest way of playing bingo. We've done, what, 6 numbers so far? Come on. Ooh. anticipation. Is it going to work? It's not very exciting if it does work, but you know. Boom, boom. Come on, Carrie. 44. All the fours. 44. There must be a rhyme for that. Oh. Hello. Yes. Okay. The code is 44. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. Apparently Carrie stopped watching the stream as soon as she left. I assumed she'd carry on watching, knowing that I needed another code, but no. There we go. There. There we go, it is connected. There. For bingo, isn't it all the fours, 44? Yeah, that's the first part of it, but I was then expecting something else, like all the twos, 22, two little ducks, or all the eights, 88, two fat ladies. I don't remember what all the different rhymes are, and I'm sure many of them have been deemed offensive. I think two fat ladies is now considered wrong. And I think actually in official bingo they don't use them at all. So yeah, she'd been watching on her laptop, which I assume she's put in either because it's run out of battery or just because. So I figured she'd switch over to using her phone to watch on. But there. So now technically stuff should work. So the fairground won't because I've not turned all of that on. I didn't have enough time to faff about. 44 droopy drawers. There we go. But yeah, apparently in official bingo calling they don't do it anymore because people might get upset or people might misinterpret something and come up with something different. There you go. Potato works.
Okay, you're right.
I should sort that out at some point so that it doesn't have such a big black background on it and make it longer as well. So you get the as usual. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff I should really do to get this stuff all working, but you know, it's good enough for now. So, and there's Eurovision working. I wrote something else. Never mind. So, did we do enough planning? I don't know. What other stuff should we make Carrie do? Because she's not listening anymore, so we can just get her to do random stuff. Yeah. Any videos we think Carrie should make? We've got Bod versus Bod. Any suggestions for challenges in that? At some point, Carrie will make a video of the latest one that we did. We've filmed it all. She's just got to do some editing and put it all together. But yeah, we need more ideas. Recite the flower duet on stream. I have no idea what the flower duet is. Ninjago spinner battle. We did have it, so one of the things we do at our lug meetup is at times you can win, like if we'll do a build, the winner will have a vote on who's the best one is, and they get to take something out of this bag of sets. And for ages there's been 4 Ninjago spinners in there and no one's taken them. So for the Christmas one there was, I can't remember what happened. I won a set, I think we just pulled like 3 names out of a hat. So I won for that. And then Carrie, I can't remember if Carrie got one for her build or for something else. And so she ended up picking for Ninjago spinner. And it was actually quite good fun just playing with it on the table. You know, it's a lot more fun than most of the other sets that people got. Do you know what the ill is, by the way? Is it the mega cold that's been going around, or maybe flu? Oh, we both. See, she is now watching. I'm confused. This is confusing. So, so both Carrie and Leah have had temperatures. Does that make it flu rather than a cold? I don't know. Um, they're both generally been miserable. So today I've had a headache for most of the day, but paracetamol is kind of keeping that at bay. I've not had a temperature at all, and Hayley seems perfectly fine. We started watching Home Alone, and Leah didn't like it. So maybe it wasn't a good choice when she was ill. But yeah, so she decided to go off, and instead Hayley decided she wanted to watch Shrek, so she watched most of Shrek. She watched Shrek 1 and then most of Shrek 2, maybe half of Shrek 2, I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, says that because I felt like you were expecting me to, so I signed back in, but I'm not guaranteeing staying awake. That's fine. Look, I got it working, so it's exciting. Yeah, definitely TV day today. We are surviving, not thriving yet. It's been a hard few days. Just trying to keep up with everything. But it's good. I can't imagine Leah going to school tomorrow. Hopefully, if Hayley's still well, she'll go in. But if I get sick, it's going to be awful. But as long as Carrie's better by then, she can take over and do everything. It doesn't help that some of the stuff that we should have been doing we haven't because of the holidays and stuff, so we're a bit behind with things like washing and stuff like that. Leah is not going, I'm keeping her to look after me. Yeah. Yeah, we need to keep up. Well, I went to fetch. So Carrie normally is the one who gets the eggs from the chickens. So I make sure they're in bed at night, and Carrie normally gets them up in the morning. So that hadn't happened. She sent me out to get the eggs, and one of them, when I picked it up, kind of just cracked. I'm not sure if that's because it was from yesterday and it had frozen overnight and made it all brittle. But yeah, it's not like it exploded or anything. It's just massive crack all the way around it now. Right. So, here's anything left to do. So, still no ideas for Bod versus Bod. I don't know what this flower duet is. And Bill. There seems to be some French thing called a flower duet. We're not doing that. All the work they do to lay eggs, and you didn't even cook it and give it back to them. No, I didn't. Because we have enough. I need to. Maybe the dishwasher is not too bad because we had takeaway, so there shouldn't be too much stuff that goes in. But adding an extra stuff. It's an opera song. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's not do that. So we had. So Carrie's aunt got me the it's like a Lego game, and it's basically you have a set of bricks and you pull out a card, and in your team you basically have to describe how the other person needs to build the pattern that you've got on your card. So there's only a small selection of bricks that you can do. Brick like this, that sounds like it. But it was quite interesting. So I was the ref essentially, And so it was Carrie and Morgan versus, like, Morgan is the niece. This is Carrie's aunt and Carrie's mum. Carrie's aunt and Carrie's mum were not good at it. But so there's the simple mode where you just get the card and you describe it to the other person, they build it, and then it's so the first person to finish it says that they've finished, and then you've got a 30-second egg timer. So the other team have an extra 30 seconds to complete it. At the end of that, you then see if they've actually built it correctly. So sometimes, they'd say they'd built it and then it was wrong. But the other option is you can play with these challenges, and there's like 3 different levels of challenge, and it was interesting. Like, some of the challenges one was that you can't use your thumbs while building. One was that the person giving instructions can only say yes or no. They weren't allowed to say any other words, which is quite fun because you're listening to them saying no more and more aggressively. Try to go, does it go here? No. Does it go here? No. Hit no, and it just it got fun. But so even when Carrie and Morgan were playing with these hard challenges, and her aunt and mum weren't playing with challenges and still were losing. It was fun to watch. But I don't think we could play that 2-player because you need to have 2 people on a team. I don't know whether you could do it as a time thing. I don't know. But as I said, it was just fun to watch. At one point, they were playing, like, I think the builder had their eyes closed. What else did we have? There was one where the builder had to hold the card with the picture on it to the instructor. So they're using one hand for that, and they had to hold it upside down. So the person trying to give the instructions then had to try and work out which way round everything went. But yeah, it'd be if we could work out a way to play that, it might be interesting. Let's write that down. Okay, so I think we might be done for today. Do you think the giveaway will work? Interesting question, isn't it? It probably won't. And I can't find my mouse. There we go. There is no giveaway. Let me just try and sort that out. Why is there no giveaway? It should be there. Let me try changing this. Just talk amongst yourselves, we'll be fine. Am I meant to know if you don't show me interesting stuff? Is it that one? No, it's not that one. Try that one. Try that. Look, there's people. See? It works and everything. Okay. Can it spin? Look at that. Amazing stuff we've got there. Pickbot can't win. There we go, Gaz will win some points. I can't be bothered to do points at the moment. But, you know. We can't win. There we go, Gordon. I mean, to be fair, there's so few people here, most people will get points. There we go, M's getting some points. And Team B. And finally, KO. On top of that, we need to give Ollie 10 points for seeing us in person and Monarch 10 points for seeing us in person. There we go. Tags Team B. What? Hang on, they all saw I wasn't on and left. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if it actually picks people up from the beginning or not. I can't work that out. Has been a quiet one, but you know, as Carrie says, she's not here, and presumably that's why people come. Who knows? Okay. Boom. Ooh, you've been building while listening. Building anything exciting? Why is yay small? I don't know. Why is yay small? Sounds like a rubbish joke, but we'll go with it. Okay, right. Well, that is all for today. I should probably tell you what we are doing. The Big Angel. Okay? I don't know what that is, but it's fine. Twitch Tuesday. Who knows if that's going to happen? It'll depend on whether Carrie is feeling better or not. I don't think 2026 will see the return of Minifig Mondays. At least not straight away, it won't. By the end of the year, who knows what will happen. Then there will probably be a video coming out. Oh, from Lilo and Stitch. Okay. Is that a name? So it's the Blue Things girlfriend. Yeah, that's helpful, Carrie. Well done there. Cool. Yeah, there will probably be a video out on Wednesday because we're now getting back into normal timings of stuff, and podcast on Thursday, a full video on Friday, London Calling on Friday, and then back here next week for another stream on Sunday. Hopefully Carrie will be better by then. All I could think of was Shrek, and I knew that wasn't right. Yeah, it's the one colour. Yeah, Minifig Mondays. In some ways, it was Carrie justifying getting CMS, and she seems to have stopped feeling the need to justify it. So, there we go. So, we will see you at some point, I'm sure, during the week on streams and stuff like that. And if not, we'll see you next week. And that's it for now. Bye bye. Happy New Year.